Welcome to Proverb a Day. This is Day 18, Proverbs 18, verse 1. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. When the wicked comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes reproach. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. Verse 5. It is not good to show partiality to the wicked, or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Verse 8. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. There's a study note on that. Verse 8. It is hard to refuse to listen to gossip. It is as hard to refuse to listen to gossip as it is to turn down a delicious dessert. Just taking one morsel of either one creates a taste for more. You can resist rumors the same way a determined dieter resists candy. Never even open the box. If you don't nibble on the first bite of gossip, you can't take the second and the third. Alright, verse 9. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. Verse 11. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own esteem. And the note on that. In imagining that their wealth is their strongest defense, rich people are sadly mistaken. Money cannot provide safety. There are too many ways for it to lose its power. The government may cease to back it, thieves may steal it, inflation may rob it of all value, but God never loses his power. He is always dependable. Where do you look for security and safety? Uncertain wealth, or God, who is always faithful? Amen. Verse 12. Before destruction the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? The heart of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before great men. The first one to plead his cause seems right, until his neighbor comes and examines him. And there's a note on verse 13, 15, and 17. In these concise statements, there are three basic principles for making sound decisions. 1. Get the facts before answering. 2. Be open to new ideas. And 3. Make sure you hear both sides of the story before judging. All three principles center around seeking additional information. This is difficult work, but the only alternative is prejudice. Judging before getting the facts. That's prejudice. That's some good information. All right, we're on to verse 18. Casting lots causes contentions to cease and keeps the mighty apart. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a castle. Verse 20. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth. From the produce of his lips he shall be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. There's a note on that verse. Verse 22. This verse states that it is good to be married. Today's emphasis on individual freedom is misguided. Strong individuals are important, but so are strong marriages. God created marriage for our enjoyment, and He pronounced it good. This is one of many passages in the Bible that show marriage as a joyful and good creation of God. You can see also Genesis 2, verses 21 through 25, Proverbs 5, verses 15 through 19, and John 2, verses 1 through 11. For more on that, marriage. Verse 23. The poor man uses entreaties, but the rich answers roughly. There's a note on that verse, 23. This verse does not condone insulting the poor. It is simply reading an unfortunate fact of life. It is wrong for rich people to treat the less fortunate with contempt and arrogance, and God will judge such actions severely. And it says to see chapter 14, verse 31 for more on that subject. The last verse, 24. A man who has friends must himself be friendly. Duh, right? But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And there's a note on that verse 24. Loneliness is everywhere. Many people feel cut off and alienated from others. Being in a crowd just makes people more aware of their isolation. We all need friends who will stick close, listen, care, and offer help when it is needed, in good times and bad. It is better to have one such friend than dozens of superficial acquaintances. Instead of wishing you could find a true friend, seek to become one. There are people who need your friendship. Really. Ask God to reveal them to you, and then take on the challenge of being a true friend. Some good advice from the book of Proverbs, the wisdom within that book. We're reading the Life Application Study Bible. I read to you some of the notes, study notes, to help apply the wisdom within those verses to our lives. Thank you for listening. This is Proverbs 18. Have a blessed day.